All right, everybody, I'm going to jump right into this. I put a couple posts up, and I actually mentioned it in a previous video, but not everybody watches everything every creator puts out. I get it. We're going to talk about Matt Hoover at CRS Firearms. We all know he was picked up. Well, you should know. He was picked up by the marshals, and he has since been released on bond related to the auto key card case. Now, I've read the indictment. I've read all the charges, and I'll tell you, and I've said this before, that somebody who is familiar with how these investigations go, it's an absolute stretch on what they're trying, or what they're charging him with, and what they'll actually be able to, if anything, get him convicted on. I think it's an absolute stretch, and I think it's beatable, and I'm glad that he's getting some support right now. I also want everybody to understand that I understand there's a lot of people in the community who may or may not like him, his channel, his style, his presentation. There are people who don't like me for the same reasons, and I get it. But this is bigger than the individual. This is bigger than our feelings on what we think of a person, or their the way they talk, the way they wear items of clothing. This is a bigger issue because the ATF is, and I think many of you will agree, it's an illegal, unconstitutional group who is a bunch of unelected bureaucrats that are attempting to change law by making their own willy-nilly rules and changing their mind overnight, making you and me a felon for having an item that they don't like anymore. It's called an ex post facto law. You've heard about them many times through history, and that's making something illegal today that was 110% legal yesterday. Is a card made of metal a machine gun? No. Is a shoelace a machine gun? No, it's not. Is a slidey piece of plastic, a bump stock, a machine gun? No, it's not. What do they all have in common? They are things that the ATF has arbitrarily changed on their own and deemed them a machine gun. Yeah, a shoelace is a machine gun according to the ATF. So I think we should all support what he's going through right now. Support the fact that this could very easily be you or me on the next go around. What do I mean? Yeah, I might not have an interest in the auto key cards. I might not have an interest in a rare breed trigger or a wide open trigger or a bump stock or whatever else the ATF has hidden up their sleeve next. But what I want people to think about is how the ATF is trying to jam up Matt Hoover right now, and it's because of conspiracy. Conspiracy is one of the most difficult things to prove in a court of law. Next to criminal intent. It's really hard to prove what people intended unless they say or do overt things. And what they're doing to him could easily be done to the next YouTuber, next firearm owner, next federal firearms licensee, next you name it. Here's a generic example. Not saying this is what they're planning on doing, but this isn't out of the realm of possibility. We know that the ATF has a hard-on right now for unfinished frames of receivers, for 3D printed items, and for pistol braces, okay? And we're going to have, like I covered in the video I did the other day, we know when those rules are coming out now. They don't get to change the Constitution. And their power, they're only as powerful as we let them be, okay? They're only as powerful as we let them be. What do I mean about this scenario? So let's say they say, and they're going to say, that anything with a pistol brace on it is an SBR or an SBS, and therefore subject to the National Firearms Act, the unconstitutional law, or the rule that turned into a law, that they say that you need to pay us $200 for the right to have your right. That could jam up all kinds of people. Let's say the pistol brace things, okay? SB Tactical is the biggest name in that game. They could easily say, just like they're doing right now with Matt Hoover, hey, your channel, you took money, you advertised for them, or you sell all of them, or you happen to put these on all the firearms that you put out as a pistol. Now you're all guilty of conspiracy in their minds, and you'll all be charged accordingly. That's very easy. It's not a stretch, guys and gals. It's not a stretch, and I want people to start thinking of how the federal government does this stuff. They cast a very wide net because they're after one particular fish. In this case, probably they're after the auto key card owner. I haven't read any investigations or any reports, but what they're trying to do to Matt is a stretch, and it could happen to anybody if this is allowed to continue. I'm glad he's fighting it. I'm glad he has the support of the community. And if you want to support them and you want to support him and his family, there are ways to do it. DLD After Dark, Flying Rich, John Crump. They are close to Matt. I don't know him personally, but I do know what's happening is wrong. I do know the ATF does not have the power to make law. And I do know that they have far overstretched their bounds and their means. And as long as they are taking orders from Joe Biden and Merrick Garland, this will be allowed to continue until the people don't let it continue. Matt, I wish you the best of luck. This is a long haul, brother. Just keep your head up. Your family is going to be your biggest ally and your biggest asset. Lean on them. Don't be afraid to talk to them. And good luck, guys and gals. If you're considering reaching out to them, there are ways to do it. Check them out on the channels that I mentioned. And until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, carry a gun to keep you, your friends, your family, your community safe. And a gun on a hip is better than the ATF on the frickin' phone, because they're a bunch of unconstitutional bureaucrats who have daddy issues. Take care.